ready? I call the August 24th, 2020 meeting of the Mexico City Council to order. A.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Shepard.
Yes. Okay, next, approval of the August 10th, 2020 regular session meetings.
Move for approval.
Second.
A.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Shepard.
Yes. Okay, first order of business, public hearing. First one's rezone a portion of the tract of land lying in the northwest quarter of Section 36, Township 51 North, Range 9 West, in the City of Mexico, County of Audrain, and State of Missouri, and amending the district map referred to in Section 42-205 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri zoning from I-2 Heavy Industrial District to I-1 Light Industrial District. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, we have received a request to look at a rezoning for a property from the heavy industrial to a light industrial. The property is located in the 1800 block on Huntingfield Drive, behind what most people, I think, locally would refer to as the Doctor's Park. So, to cover the request and the recommendation from Planning and Zoning, Rita Jackson, redevelopment director.
We need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Williams.
Yes.
A.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Shepard.
Yes.
Good evening, Council. As Mr. Slagle stated, this public hearing concerns a request from Adair Hathaway on behalf of Geating Properties LLC and NGBS LLC to rezone a portion of their property located at 1882 Huntingfield Drive, Low Road, from I-1 Heavy Industrial from I-2 to I-1 Light Industrial District. As stated, this property is located behind the Mexico Doctor's Park. Adair Hathaway has entered into a contract with Geating Properties to purchase a portion of this property. The rezoned use of the property would be for a distillery with rental space and a separate single-family residence. A summary sheet is attached of the proposed use changes as submitted by Mr. Hathaway. The city zoning ordinances limit development in I-2 Heavy Industrial District to only a predefined list of potential uses. This aspect is unique among the city's district regulations, preventing development of any other type or uses, including other commercial or residential uses. Rezoning to an I-1 Light Industrial District will not only allow potential uses as listed, but uses from other more restricted commercial zoning districts as well. The city's comprehensive plan shows the proposed rezoning area as a business campus, a flexible zone to promote business retention, expansion, and recruitment to attract new jobs in multiple sectors, including light industrial and commercial districts. Notices were sent to 6 surrounding property owners within 300 feet of the requested rezoning. City staff received 1 telephone communication regarding the rezoning request. The property owner was requesting additional information regarding the dimensions of the distillery. At the August 4th, 2020 Planning and Zoning meeting, the Commission made a motion to recommend to City Council to grant approval of the requested rezoning. We do have a change as of late this afternoon. Mr. Hathaway has decided not to purchase this property. We do have here Nathan Geating in the audience, and they would like to actually, the owners, go ahead and have this property rezoned. Staff recommends that the council proceed with the advertised public hearing.
So, they're not going to build a distillery there?
No.
Okay. Because I had a couple of doctors call me and ask me some questions, so there's no point in asking questions then if they're not even going to build it. So,
Question on our map. What portion of this are we talking about? It's the blue part, isn't it? It's the blue part, isn't it? Says-
Light blue, dark blue?
It's the dark, okay, I'm sorry.
Light blue says I-2 outside that dotted line.
So how do you get to the dark blue if the street stops almost before it gets there?
What you see, the dark blue is actually the proposed area, but the area around it is what we use to get the 300 feet. So it's actually the dark blue portion of the property to be rezoned.
Okay. Are we saying that if you go to the end of the street, there isn't access to this dark blue area? I mean, it doesn't look like there really is.
Yes.
There could be a small strip there.
Yes.
Okay.
It won't be upon the city to build and maintain a road back in there. for them,
No.
will it?
As I stated, we do have Mr. Geeding and the property to tell what he proposes to do with the rezoning, if you have any questions for him.
Well, yeah, if he wants to tell us what he's thinking, I'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah, what I would like to do with the property.
Would you come up and state your name?
Yeah, for the record.
Nathan Geeding. I live in Silex, Missouri at 145 Bunker Hill Road. What I would like to do with this property is sell off 10-acre tracts, is my new plan as of this morning, for housing. It would actually, if we could make the area being rezoned larger, that would be good too, if possible.
You have to go back to rezone.
So, yeah, it seems to me
Yeah, well,
like
then we can just stick
You want
with...
different zoning now.
We can just stick with just this track then.
Is that right? Does he need to go back to planning and zoning?
Right,
Yeah.
if you want a bigger area, you'd have to go back to planning and zoning and ask for the larger area than this, because we can only address this area this evening. And if your uses have changed, even though we're taking it from an I-2 to an I-1, which allows you to do what you're doing, you may even want to take a look at a different zoning even further down based on your uses.
Well, I don't know that I would, I would be okay with taking it further down, but I would prefer not to limit the uses.
There you go. Yeah, then it's fine, because you're allowed to do what you're asking to do here in this one.
So what, go ahead.
How much of this acreage are you buying? Just the blue portion? Or you-
Well, I currently own it.
Okay.
Whenever the previous owners, ELT Mexico, sold what used to be AP Green, I purchased it.
Okay.
It did not include the brick plant, separate from that.
So what he's asking to do now will be okay with what we've got in front
Yes.
of us?
Yes.
Okay, we just want to make sure you've got the right thing, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Close the hearing.
No, we still got one more part of the hearing.
Anyone
Anyone
other,
else? Yeah.
anyone else on part A, public comment for that one? See, I need a motion to close this public hearing, then I'll open up another one. We'll open up another one.
Okay. Second.
Who made the motion? Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yes. Okay, the next public hearing to establish the 2020 property tax rates. Mr. Slagle.
I move we open the public
We
hearing.
open,
Second.
there we go.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yes.
Okay, council, as required by state law, the city council needs to conduct a public hearing to establish the current year's property tax rates for the 2020 property tax levies. As council is aware, the state auditor's office calculates the allowable property tax rates based on keeping what they consider revenue neutral and exclusive of any new construction. So based on the 2020 assessment value of $155,037,677, the state auditor's office calculated the rate to be at .7422 or 0.7422 cents per $100 of evaluation. Revenues for the City of Mexico from that rate would generate $1,150,689. As that breaks down, the general fund proposed tax rate would be .4422 cents, Parks and Recreation Fund at 10 cents, Public Health at 20 cents, which would get your total rate at .7422 cents. At this time, we'd recommend council proceed with the public hearing, and notice was published in the Mexico Ledger.
Public hearing is open. Anyone, anything to say?
Now I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes. Okay, next order of business ordinances, 2 readings by title only and passage. Bill number 2020-46, an ordinance rezoning a portion of the tract of land lying in the northwest quarter of Section 36, Township 51, North Range 9 West in the City of Mexico, County of Audrain, and State of Missouri, and amending the district map referring to the in Section 42-205 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri zoning to I-1 Light Industrial District. You have the public hearing, Mr. Slagle? Any other-
Yeah, you've had the public hearing, council. Staff would recommend the council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance. It's been posted the required length of time. Unless you have any additional questions.
I move for a first reading of Bill number 2020-46.
Second.
Bill number 2020- excuse me.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Now we can do it. Okay, Bill number 2020-46, an ordinance rezoning a portion of a tract of land lying in the northwest corner of Section 36, Township 51, North, Range 9 West, in the City of Mexico, County of Audrain, and State of Missouri, and amending the district map referred to in Section 42-205 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, in parentheses zoning parentheses to I-1 Light Industrial District. I move for passage.
No.
No, second reading.
Second reading.
Okay, sorry, I'm just not on it.
Second.
Okay.
Oh, did she do?
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
You want me to do this again?
You mean,
Practice makes perfect, right? Okay. I move for second reading of Bill number 2020-46.
Just have to read it. Just read it.
We need to read it.
Just read it.
Now we need to read it.
Read the title only, yeah.
Okay. Bill number 2020-46, an ordinance rezoning a portion of a tract of land lying in the northwest quarter of Section 36, Township 51, North, Range 9 West, in the City of Mexico, County of Audrain, State of Missouri, and amending the district map referred to in Section 42-205 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, in parentheses zoning, parentheses to I-1 Light Industrial District. May I move for passage?
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes. Okay, bill number 2020-47, an ordinance levying taxes on all property for the fiscal year October 1, 2020 to September 30th, 2021 for the City of Mexico, Missouri. Mr. Slagle.
Your Honor, unless council has any additional questions, we heard the public hearing earlier. The information is the same, hasn't changed. So staff would recommend council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance, and the ordinance has been posted its required length of time.
I move for first reading of bill number 2020-47.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Bill number 2020-47, an ordinance levying taxes on all property for the fiscal year October 1, 2020 to September 30, 2021 for the City of Mexico, Missouri. And I moved for the second reading of bill number 2020-47.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Bill number 2020-47, an ordinance levying taxes on all property for the fiscal year October 1, 2020 to September 30, 2021 for the city of Mexico, Missouri. I move for passage of bill number 2020-47.
Second.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes. Okay, bill number 2020-48, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act agreement for use at the Mexico Memorial Airport. Reading by title only, Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. We have received notice of a CARES grant through the Department of Transportation, amount of $30,000. And to cover the details of the financial assistance, we return to Russell Welch.
Evening, Council.
Good evening.
Each year, we receive funds from the FAA that go through MoDITE Aviation, just like all airports in the state of Missouri. Just this year especially, these special funds were provided based upon the size of your airport. We received $30,000. We're going through the hoops here to get it approved, and those monies will be used for our local match for our upcoming runway lighting project.
Council, we'd recommend council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance, and it has been posted, Mr. Requirement.
I move for, you going?
I move for first reading of Bill 2020-48.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes.
Bill 2020-48, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act agreement for use at the Mexico Memorial Airport. I move for the second reading.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-48, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission Coronavirus Relief and Economic Security Act agreement for use at the Mexico Memorial Airport. I move for passage of bill number 2020-48.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes. Okay, resolution reading by title only and passage. Bill number 2020-49, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an amendment for renewal sublease of business property with Home Depot USA Incorporated. Mr. Slagle.
Council, as you know, Home Depot does lease the city spec building over on Christopher Drive, and we have negotiated an extension to that lease, and to cover the details, we will turn to Russell Welch.
Yes, as Bruce mentioned, Home Depot currently subleases this property at 2501 Christopher Drive. The current lease expires September 30th of this year. We have negotiated with them to sublease it for an additional 7 years. The extension will include a monthly rental fee of $13,260 until October 1 of '22, and increase to $14,000 per month for the remainder of the lease. The building will continue to be used to operate as part of Home Depot's distribution facilities in Mexico. Staff recommends the council proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an amendment for renewal sublease of business property with Home Depot.
Pleasure of the council.
Make a motion to approve the sublease.
No, Bill, reading. Reading, it's a resolution.
Make a motion to read bill number 2020-49.
Second.
By title only.
You gave a second.
Mr. Hague.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-49, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an amendment for renewal sublease of business properties with Home Depot USA Incorporated. I move for passage of bill number 2020-49.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs. Shippers.
Yes. Okay, other business. Golf carts on public streets, a discussion follow-up.
Dr. Shivers. I'm going to excuse myself so that I'm not involved in this. But after I brought this up the other day, there was a lot of talk about that. I was the only one that benefited from it. There was no thought that the city might make a little license money. There's no thought that you might get sales tax. There was no thought that there's another golf cart dealer south of town. There's Sidon Strickers would benefit, Porcelains would benefit, Weebergs would benefit. So would I. But I'm going to bow out and ask to be adjourned at this time. If you'll call me back for the executive session, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Council, at this time, you had asked to consider some additional information and before you had any further discussion about this. So at this time, all we're asking for is what, if any, additional information that you need that you haven't already found, and how do you wish to proceed with this issue? And so we're just asking for direction. How you want it back as a discussion item? Are you ready to move with something? You just do nothing?
I guess I'm confused because I thought when we had the work session, we had questions there that I thought we were going to get answers to, like, what it would look like, what an actual ordinance would look like compared to other places, plus adding the LTV vehicles to the ordinance rather than just golf carts. But I haven't heard anything about anything. I mean, we had the public, or the work session and then this, and I haven't heard a word between that date and this date. So I don't know.
haven't either. I have not gotten any further direction. And if we were to do something to that effect, I was not aware of that.
Well, I think we left and said that we were going to research it on our own. I don't know if we put it on them to research it.
Yeah.
So we were going to go out and find our own information on what maybe other cities have done. And I'm not opposed to it. I think that council needs to probably have a talk about how we want it to look. I drove around, we went to Centralia one night and drove around because they have a golf cart ordinance. I wanted to see if it was crazy or if there were, I think I saw one golf cart and, it was dusk and I think one of their taillights was out. So, you got to kind of think about those things and, I've talked to people over there and they say, you really don't see a ton of them unless it's during the Anchor Fest. You do see a lot on the street. And so I'm not opposed to it. I just think there needs to be some discussion on what it looks like from, an age standpoint. If we say a valid driver's license, I don't believe in a 16-year-old being on a golf cart on our streets. I wouldn't like that. Do we want them to have lights on it all the time or just at dark? So on and so forth. But I don't know if I'm prepared to say let's push forward and pass something right now. But I'm not opposed to having a deeper discussion in it and going from there on what we would like to see done. If we do put a sticker on it, do we have a sticker? Do they need to get inspection? Do they need to do that stuff as we move forward? So, and I think we're separating the golf carts from the other ones. We were going to make a separate one for, what's the other ones? The other big ones, not golf carts, but that's different. LSVs already have theirs, right? No.
It's not ATVs. What is it? LTVs? Is it?
Or UTVs.
It's like gators and stuff like that.
So the ones that typically can go faster than 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So we kind of said we would look at both types of things.
I get his thinking about businesses and all that sort of thing, but I really am not totally comfortable with any of this. And when we get a presentation from Public Safety that has huge concerns about the safety of it. We have a golf cart, my husband and we have one. I pose this question to a lot of people that play out where I play, and a lot of those people don't think it's so safe. And we have to keep in mind that everybody probably isn't going to comply with something the way you might like them. Like you said, the lights out, but we still are probably going to have parents on there with kids on the carts and things like that. We just need one accident where somebody gets hit on one, or somebody flips one over, and then we're not going to be very happy, perhaps, with, what we did. So I would just say I'm not comfortable from the standpoint of safety, public, and we're talking about the safety of the public. And that's just my feeling. And I cannot seem to get rid of that feeling, and I haven't heard anything that has sort of made me feel better about that, but then I am the born skeptic a little bit. So those are my feelings about it. And then when you do this golf cart thing, then other people, I also had other people say to me, well, okay, then what about all these other whatever, like ATMs and four-wheelers and things like that? You're right, they go faster, and they probably are a little bit more problem even as far as supervised or whatever, and then we're going to have to consider all of that, and we're talking about a big project then, if you're going to talk about the golf carts and then you're going to talk about all this other stuff. So, I'm kind of with public safety on it. I'm just not sold on it. So, and that's my feelings.
Mr. Williams?
I respect what public safety said. I will say that there's a lot of communities that have that. I will say when it comes to the gators and stuff like that, for example, the sheriff's department can take their gator in any community in Audrain County except Mexico. And they do have more safety equipment on them. They do go faster, but they have seat belts, they have lights, they have all the stuff that a golf cart doesn't have. And I think if you're going to do one, you need to look at the other, especially, unfortunately, we have an owner of a golf cart business that sits on the council, and if we just do golf carts, it just has a horrible, horrible look to it. And I couldn't do that. But I also know what she's saying, and I know about that wreck out there on Z, and all those kids got hurt and stuff, and that's, and like you said, if somebody does get hurt, it takes one accident.
Yeah, you're totally exposed on the golf cart.
And then what happens, So, if we have a push for it, those are my feelings. I'm not going to say I'm going to be the one pushing for it. I'm kind of like you. I'm not going to sit out here and go, oh yes, I need it. I don't know. I don't know where the big benefit is to do it for the community.
I know when I mentioned it right after one of my lunch with the mayor, and the majority of people on that weren't really for it because their concern was the size of a lot of our roads are very narrow already. I look at even where I live, and you can't hardly get one car down sometimes at night because people park on the streets and all sorts of other different things. Again, I'm also with, listening to what public safety said, Chief Rocket, when she gave her presentation about it, is one of those things that we have to be very cognizant. When I was at MMA, we had one of the golf carts flip, and a couple of kids and one of one of the faculty were pretty, wounded pretty bad over that. It's one of the things I think we have to really be very careful if we were to consider it. Again, I'm sort of like Chris on that. I'm not going to be the one pushing for it. What they say sometimes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's not broke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I'm almost thinking that's where we are almost with that right now.
Well, you go over a hill, like you're driving, some of these, Mexico's a bigger town than Centralia. Centralia's a lot flatter, but some of these roads here, if you come over the hill and you're going 50 or 60 and they're going 20, you're going to have a hard time avoiding running into the back of them. And then you get kids going pretty fast in cars too sometimes. So I think it's just a matter of time before. And if you're trying to get, you're on the golf cart and you're trying to get out of the way of somebody, and you pull over and you get to the edge of that road, boom, over you go. It's pretty easy to do. So, right?
I'm just asking for direction. How do you want to proceed? Do you wish to take this up? Do you not wish to take it up? Do you wish us to bring you something?
Sounds like we don't need a vote on it unless we
No,
have a
there's
consensus.
there's no vote here. I'm just trying to get what you want us to do, if anything.
Three of us were like, we're not pushing for it.
So,
Are we good with just sort of waiting to see if anybody else brings it back up from the community at some point, letting it sort of die?
Yeah, I think you need to put a little bit more push from the community. I mean, I understand everybody's concerns. I mean, I understand both sides of it. I mean, if you live in I could see if you lived out in Birdland, if you wanted to have a golf cart, go around there. I mean, that's a little different than driving, maybe up here on the square. And so if there's a push for it and, community members want to come in and bring it up and have that proposal, then I think we could probably revisit it, so.
Okay. I'm going to leave it there.
All right.
Okay. I just didn't think it was appropriate to leave it lay where it was at without some direction, council, so that's why thank you.
Well, I haven't heard nobody has approached me about, other than him, about the golf carts.
Okay, claims.
I move we pay the bills.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes. Okay, comments. Council comments. Mr. Hay?
We are, from my standpoint, we're slowly approaching school. We're getting close, and so and I'm excited, but it makes me a little nervous. You kind of see the counties around us kind of going up a little bit in some numbers, and we're going to get back into school. So I say everybody, as I said, I want to start and not stop, so let's stay safe. And I know it's not a mandate to have your child in a mask other than on a school bus, but I would strongly suggest that if you're going to send your child to school, that you put them in a mask so that we can be as safe as possible there. And I know that's your choice, but let's stay in school and let's have a good start to it and hopefully continue down it. And so that's about all I have.
I'd echo your comments about the school. I would say, I'm not sure why my take is that the threshold keeps coming down. Like, we're going to do this, and now we're not going to do this. Now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do that. And, I mean, I had a parent-teacher meeting just with football, and they didn't really have any answers. And I'm like, we're like days from this starting. So I hold out hope, but I'm scared. So I hope it works out for them. My kid goes to school, so the last thing I want is him to come home with something. So, and get me sick or my grandparents or anybody else. I do have a couple questions about the tax thing, though. On the tax on the dollars, does that include the Brookstone property yet, or no?
No.
No.
And if we pull that from its chapter 100, it wasn't assessed at the beginning of the year, so it'd be assessed next year.
Be assessed next year. And then, do we have any update on what's going on with Teva out there? Are they still planning to tear that down, and how that would affect taxes?
Go ahead and let Russell make any comments. He's been in contact with them.
Yeah, they're currently in the decommissioning process, and once that's complete, they'll just take it down.
And that'll affect, I guess the property would be worth a lot less without anything on it. So.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have.
Well, I have the same concerns about the virus, the COVID virus, as everybody else, and it's worrisome. Every day I check the KXCO report to see what the public, how many cases we have in Audrain County. I'm going to show you my cool mask.
Good St. Louis Cardinal mask.
I thought my students, being males, would enjoy maybe a football mask as much as they do the black ones they have to wear.
Exactly.
I'm seeing someone in it, so anyway. But that's all, just an ongoing concern. I think we all need to pay attention to what's going on.
Well, I think it's exciting the school starting, and I wish everybody the best of luck in that. I'm not sure how we're going to accomplish all that, but all we can do is keep moving forward, I hope. I just was in New York and Massachusetts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I can tell you that it's a lot different out east. We have to have a COVID test within 36 hours of the time you enter the state, so if you're driving, you have to have one here and then get it emailed to you on your phone so you can carry it. So when you get inspected, you have to file a report with the state so they know you're in the state. It's really a lot of hassle. So we're pretty lucky out here that we don't have all of the remedies they have on the East Coast. It was quite a logistical thing to do that. But I wish the best for our school system and the kids that are in it, especially the kids that are in it. And I don't know what.
I take it you passed her, they wouldn't have let you in the state.
Yes, but I left here, I took it at 2 o'clock on Wednesday and left here at 4 o'clock and entered New York Friday morning and sat there until my email got to me so I could enter New York. And then I had 72 hours to get done in New York, get into Massachusetts, get finished, and get back out of both those states back into Pennsylvania before I ran out of time. So that's why I got home early. Well, I'm like a horse. Once you turn me towards the barn, I just keep coming. So, we're lucky we don't have all that, but
But they've also they've lost so many people with coronavirus there.
But if you look at the map of COVID, New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, those states are on the decline considerably compared to all the rest of the United States. They show which states don't have to comply to this, and it's all right up there in that area. So they've done a good job of whatever they're doing, I guess. That's it.
I think I mirror what everybody else has been saying about, just praying for our students and our teachers and everybody as they're going back to school, and hoping that we're able to keep moving forward. Hoping that everyone, like I like to say, is just being kind and caring about the people that surround them. And like they said, wear a mask, do things that maybe you don't 100% agree with, but realizing it can make a difference in somebody who really isn't as, who's higher risk than you. So that's all I have to say.
Nothing this time, Your Honor.
I always forget that you're over here while you're being over there. So I apologize. Down to the public, if time for public comments. If you have anything, please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. Keep comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Any comments? Seeing there's none.
Yeah, tomorrow who's on the radio?
I'm taking hers, I think, yes.
Oh, you've got it.
Yeah, we're doing some swapping because the jobs are just...
Dr. Shivers, I move to adjourn.
Second.
In the executive session pursuant to Missouri 610-021-2 real estate matter.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes. Okay.
So we will stay here?